What's up, fellas? It's been a minute. About a week, to be precise. But I've had something on my mind for the last few months. Well, I always have something on my mind, but you'll get used to that. Playing it safe. Or really trying not to play it safe. I don't know what it is about getting older and having more responsibilities that kind of irks you to, look around you and try to, I guess, sum up the events of your life, the accomplishments, the failures, the pursuits, But yeah, the reason I'm talking about not playing it safe is because over the last, year or two, I think really ever since they shot Nipsey Hussle, I've been thinking a lot about my own mortality, right? I've been thinking about life really in general and how short, how unpredictable, how just chaotic it could be, One day you are happy, you're smiling, you're so full of life. The next, it's all over, snuffed out. And the reason I talk about playing it safe is because it is my ambition. And how every waking day of my life, I think about the things I could achieve, the things I should achieve, the things I could have, want to have, or should have, Of course, it's not an easy thing to think about. It never really is. Thoughts like this kind of depress a lot of people, It's, I should be there. I should have done that. Oh, this mistake and that. And then instead of trying to focus on how to fix it, we kind of fixate on what's wrong, Instead of making small changes, instead of saying, hey, I know I'm a little bit overweight or underweight and I should go to the gym. Kind of fixate on, man, I'm too big, I'm too big, I'm too big, I'm too big, but it's never, how can I fix that, Sometimes we give ourselves all the excuses in the world. Oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I'm always so beat. And one of the things I decided to do this year, and I'm not overweight, hell, not by any means, right? But it was just to wake up every morning at 4 or 5, depending on how hectic the night before it was, and just exercise, 30 minutes, an hour, 45. Slowly become longer and longer, but that's to be expected with anything that you start with. It's a little hard in the beginning, but after a while it becomes routine. And I used to do it a lot when I was younger, but I decided to let me start small. And now what it's moved on to is, I made a list of all the things that I should have worked on. Right? The things I didn't make time for, or the things I said I didn't have time for. I started shifting things around, going to less places or spending less time doing X amount of things, because I realized that I'd filled up my life with a lot of activity, a lot of distraction, right? A lot of it was also important, but it could have been done at a different time, So I guess it's a priorities thing. The truth is, we only have one ticket. This life thing, it's a one-way ticket. You can't come back. There's no do-overs. There's no, I'll try again the next time around, Once you're gone, you're gone. We don't even know what's waiting for us in the hereafter. nowadays with different denominations, you believe different things. Some people say you go straight to hell or heaven, and some people think you rest until Judgment Day. So, yeah. At least from a Christian perspective, that's how it looks. But if you belong to any other religion or you're just an atheist, there are a lot of other ways or conclusions that people have come to. Some people are just there going, there's nothing after, so why care about what happens now? Because either way, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not one of those people. Because like I said, we only have like one ticket. We gotta make the most of it. So, I decided to myself, I'm not gonna give time to things that, one, are distracting, but also don't add anything to my life, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't go out and make those memories with the people that you care about, because those are equally as important. They're gonna carry you through the hard times, But what is it that you're passionate about, right? What is it that when you're sitting down by your lonesome, you think about nonstop? That dream you decided to let go of. That yearning you still have to pursue that thing. And it's scary because sometimes that thing seems like it's out of reach, like it's only meant for but a few. Well, my sincere belief is that you are one of those few. I think with everything, with every endeavor in life, you have to have childlike belief and ambition, right? What is it Muhammad Ali said? A man without dreams is a man without wings. Hopefully I said that right. But it's true. You look at the people around you that have been working or have been in the workforce for, decades. And you see the life kind of drained out of them because that's all they do every single day. They don't have anything that replenishes that energy from I guess maybe motivational perspective, or from, it's not very, how can I say this? It's not something that's easy to explain, right? I believe that we all have a purpose, that there is something. Even if you sit down and you look at yourself and you're like, well, I've never been artistic. I've never had any ambition for anything. I've just kind of woken up every day of my life and blah, blah, blah. There is something deep down inside, whether it's subconscious or whether it's something you're actively trying to avoid. It's time for you to do it. You can't play it safe. People out here are playing to win. People out here are playing for keeps, All the things, whether it's material, whether it's from an accolade perspective, there are people out there who wake up every single day, put in just as much work as you do, or even more. Some people wake up and they're born into families where they have like a little advantage, right? Some people are born with the negative, whether it's because they come from a poor family financially, or they come from a family where, their last name is frowned upon. So doing anything automatically becomes hard, But we all know this life thing isn't fair. Right? It's either you make excuses for it or you start making a change. I think sometimes our biggest hurdle is ourselves and our mentality, right? Sometimes it's not the physical limitations that keep us back. It's us thinking or believing that you can't do it, right? You have more doubt than you have belief in yourself. You believe in the failure more than the success, right? And some people actually are afraid to succeed, oddly enough. But playing it safe is not going to get you the life you want. It's not going to put those worries to rest at all. You're going to have more anxiety, more depression, more you're gonna be less happy with the outcomes of your life. And we know this. We've seen this before with other generations, right? People going through midlife crises or crisis, man, however you say it, right? The question is, how long must you wait before you wake up and your life is not even your own? You look at the people around you, the circle of friends, the house you live in, the car you drive, and you sit there and you look at it and say, if I wasn't so complacent, if I had only risked more, if I had only half or a quarter of the ambition, would my life look the same way? And honestly speaking, there's nothing more painful than regret. Trust me, there isn't. When that big old curtain closes and it's your final act, it's the final show, what will the credits read? What's going to be on your obituary? How would you like to be remembered? If you were to attend your own funeral and look at your body and look at the people who are there crying, mourning, ask yourself, when you read that piece of paper, that obituary, would you be proud to see what's on the paper? And listen, it's not really all about the financial or the physical or the materialistic things. That's not the only thing, of course, but to live a life you're proud of is to live a life with some agency. It's to live a life where you at least felt like you pursued that purpose, whether it's serving or, it's being an architect. And I mean, an architect is you're the builder of things, Are you extremely logical? What are the most irrational things you've done that you regret? If you try to mend those wrongs, right? Because we're not perfect. We've all hurt someone in various ways, whether it was in self-defense, whether you felt justified, or maybe it was just one of those days, you're just having a bad day. But I tell you this, and I do implore you to wake up right now, today, starting right now, list the things you want to change in your life, and just do them. Don't even think about it. And make those things, those tasks, those things in that list very simple. Don't start with the I want to own $1 billion company thing. No. Start with the small things. A walk every day. Read a new page from that book you haven't touched since you bought it every day. 30 minutes, 15 minutes, it doesn't really matter. It's about being active, right? It's about making active choices. It's about being a participant of your life. There's more to life than, your career path or the title that's on your door or on your resume, obviously. And, what's actually funny is I was watching this TV show. It's called Severance, It's an interesting show, but the whole premise is people go to this company where they perform a procedure, right? Where they kind of implant this chip where when you walk into the premises or you walk into the building, you forget everything. You forget who you are outside of work and you can concentrate on working, right? And equally as much, when you leave the place, you forget everything about the things you were doing at work. So if you essentially have two personalities, you split personality. You have one at work and the one at home. I mean, if we're being honest about it, a lot of people live their life that way. But, the only difference with them is that it's a procedure and you can't remember anything. So you don't even know the person you are inside, good or bad. But I watched that show and I realized that metaphorically speaking, this is how a lot of people would want to live their life, kind of sedated in a way, to not have to carry their work home, or to have that strict regimen where at 5 you clock out and you go do whatever, and that's you. That's the other you within the guy at work, blah, blah, blah. And I think, as sad as that sounds, it's true for a lot of people, but that's not a life to live, I've actually sat down with people who have accomplished more in life, older gentlemen, and they talk about their dreams a lot, which is funny, but yeah, they talk about their dreams a lot, the things they wanted to do, and it's always kind of like a common thing, the regrets, the, hey man, I should have done this or should have done that. I don't know if I was young or blah, blah, blah. There was always that thing, right? And they always say the same thing. Man, you gotta take more risks. You really have to. There's no guarantee that it's gonna work, but there's no guarantee that it's gonna fail either. What would you rather have? The crippling depression, right? The midlife crisis, the fear that, you're getting older, that the grave is just around the corner and you haven't done anything you're proud of? Or would you want to say, hey, listen, I tried everything, At least I know that the life I have now is a life of my own choosing. It's a path that I chose to walk on. So, for good or for worse, I did exercise those things. Like I said, today is a day. It's D-Day. Think about it. Think about your life from that perspective. What would you want your obituary to say? Because legacy is not just about things. Legacy is also about the people you leave behind and what they have to say about you, or the character of the man or a woman. Today should be the first day you choose to really live the way you choose to. Whether it's in direct correlation with God, and I do think, if I'm not wrong, that God has blessed us with gifts. And for me, it just seems like such a waste, such a lack of gratitude to not, pursue those things. Not just for self, but there's a reason why you will always be unhappy if you don't live your life with that agency. Because that yearning is real. It's baked into your DNA. It's baked into who you are. God knows it more than you do. So make a choice today. Life is very short. You only have one go. No do-overs, no nothing like that. Don't play it safe at all. Take those risks. Sometimes you're gonna lose a lot, but you don't want to be that old bitter man or woman at the corner of the room. You only have one life, man. Choose to do something about it. And none of that YOLO stuff, Be responsible about it. As long as you're not hurting nobody, go for it. And also, don't be one of those people that's like afraid to do something because you're afraid you're gonna lose friends or people around you. So be it. Sometimes the path you have to walk on is a lot lonelier than we want it to be. The truth is, if our own parents, if our own friends will not believe, will not be along for the ride, sad to say, but I'd like to believe that the people who listen to my podcast are not devoid of thinking logically, and also are not, the kind of people who avoid reality. With that being said, I hope today's the first day of your life, your real life.